Gentlemen, what if I told you there are 7 psychological tricks your wife might be using to hide an affair, and you've been missing them? These tricks are designed to manipulate your perception and keep you in the dark. She's learned how to deflect, deny, and distract you from the truth. In this video, I'll reveal the exact strategies women use to cover up infidelity, and once you know what to look for, you'll never miss the signs again. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and like this video. Also, let me know where you're watching from. Drop your city in the comments. Trick 1. The overcompensation trick. She's extra nice to distract you. One of the first psychological tricks your wife may use to cover up her affair is overcompensation. If she's been distant or disconnected, you might suddenly notice her going out of her way to be excessively kind, attentive, or affectionate. It's almost as if she's trying to make up for something, and while at first it may seem like a sweet gesture, it's actually a calculated move, designed to divert your attention away from her actions. She might start doing things she hasn't done in years, perhaps buying you thoughtful gifts, planning spontaneous date nights, or offering unexpected words of affirmation. At first, this might seem like an attempt to improve the relationship, but in reality, it's her way of covering up the guilt and making you feel secure. If she's been emotionally or physically involved with someone else, she's likely feeling the weight of that guilt, and these sudden over-the-top gestures are her way of balancing the scales. She's trying to distract you from questioning her loyalty by showing you a version of herself that feels too good to be true. It can also manifest as an increased focus on your needs. She suddenly becomes more involved in making your life easier, taking care of things around the house, asking if you need anything, and paying more attention to your emotional well-being. While these actions may seem like she's rekindling the relationship, they're often a smokescreen to make you feel like she's committed, all while she's hiding her emotional or physical affair. This trick is particularly dangerous because it keeps you distracted. You begin to think that things are improving, that maybe the tension you felt in the relationship is gone. But in reality, her behavior is a form of manipulation to keep you from suspecting what's really going on behind the scenes. She's working hard to keep you from digging deeper, and it's easier for her to hide her affair when you're distracted by her sudden love. However, this overcompensation isn't the worst trick she's using. The next psychological move is much more calculated and much harder to spot. Stay tuned, it's about to get even more devious. Trick 2. The confusing the narrative trick. She shifts blame to you. Another psychological trick women often use to hide an affair is shifting the blame onto you. If she's been caught in lies or you've started questioning her actions, she might start deflecting the focus away from her infidelity by accusing you of being the problem. This is a form of manipulation that turns the tables, making you feel like you're the one at fault for your suspicions. Instead of addressing her behavior or the affair, she'll twist the situation to make you feel guilty for doubting her. You might notice her telling you things like, "You're always so suspicious," or "Why don't you trust me?" She may even accuse you of being controlling, insecure, or too needy, painting herself as the victim. This tactic is meant to discredit your feelings and make you question your own perception of the situation. By doing this, she's able to redirect the conversation away from her actions and onto your alleged flaws. What's more dangerous is how convincing she can be. She'll make it seem like you're overreacting, that your concerns are unwarranted, and that you're blowing things out of proportion. She's creating a narrative where your suspicions feel irrational, making you second-guess your instincts. Meanwhile, she's free to continue her affair, knowing that you're too busy defending yourself to confront her on the real issue. The shifting of blame isn't just a way to avoid guilt. It's a form of gaslighting, a psychological tactic meant to manipulate you into doubting your own feelings and experiences. You may find yourself apologizing for things you never even did, all while she continues her deceitful behavior without consequence. But this trick is only the beginning. The next psychological manipulation she uses is far more subtle and even more damaging to the trust in your relationship. Stay with me, because the truth behind her actions is about to get even more disturbing. Trick 3. The emotional distance. Trick: she mentally checks out. One of the most damaging psychological tricks your wife can use to hide an affair is emotional distance. This tactic is subtle, but extremely effective in creating a divide between you without raising any immediate red flags. She will slowly begin to withdraw emotionally, becoming less available, less interested in engaging with you, and far more focused on herself or someone else. Instead of confronting the issue directly, she distances herself, and this emotional withdrawal can be a powerful cover for her affair. You'll notice that she's no longer as emotionally engaged in conversations. When you try to talk about your day, your feelings, or even something that used to bring you closer, she becomes distant, distracted, or uninterested. Where there once were deep, meaningful conversations, there are now one-word answers and a lack of enthusiasm. This emotional detachment might be disguised as needing space or being tired, but the truth is, she's already investing her emotions elsewhere. It's not just in conversations. Her physical responses may become more muted. A simple hug or kiss may feel forced or uncomfortable, and you might even find that she avoids touch altogether. If you ask about this change in behavior, she'll likely tell you that it's nothing, or she's just going through a phase. But deep down, you know the emotional connection has weakened significantly. What's especially dangerous about this trick is how slowly it progresses. At first, you may brush it off, thinking it's a small phase. But as time passes, you realize that she's slowly becoming more distant and detached, and you're left feeling like a stranger in your own relationship. This emotional withdrawal is a clear signal that she's mentally checked out, and her affair may be the reason behind her changing behavior. But this trick doesn't just stop here. The next psychological manipulation she uses is even more deceitful, and it's designed to keep you locked in a cycle of confusion and doubt. Stay tuned for what comes next. Trick 4. The frequent stress. Trick: she uses external stress to deflect attention. A classic psychological trick women use when hiding an affair is blaming external stress for their emotional and physical distance. Your wife may suddenly start claiming that she's overwhelmed by work, family issues, or other personal stresses, and this becomes her go-to excuse for why she's acting differently. Instead of acknowledging the real issue, the affair, she deflects your attention to the stresses in her life, creating a convenient cover for her actions. You may notice her saying things like, "I'm just dealing with a lot right now," or "I'm so stressed out, I just need some time to myself." These statements are designed to shift the blame from her behavior to an external factor, making it harder for you to pinpoint the true cause of her emotional withdrawal. It's easier for her to blame work stress or personal problems than to admit that she's emotionally engaged with someone else. The problem with this trick is that it makes you feel guilty for questioning her behavior. She's clearly under stress, and you might begin to believe that you're overreacting or being unfair in expecting more attention from her. She convinces you that the issue is external, not internal, and this diverts your focus away from what's really going on. But there's a deeper layer to this strategy. The more she points to stress as the cause of her emotional distance, the less likely you are to dig deeper. After all, stress is something we can all relate to, and it's easy to buy into her excuse without considering other possibilities. The truth, however, is that this external stress is simply a convenient smokescreen. The affair has nothing to do with her workload or family issues. It's all about her desire to keep you distracted. But this psychological tactic isn't the only one she's using. The next trick is even more cunning, and it goes beyond emotional manipulation. It's designed to trap you in a cycle of doubt and insecurity. Keep watching, you won't want to miss what comes next. Trick 5. The over-justifying trick. She offers too many details. A subtle yet powerful psychological trick that women use to hide an affair is the over-justifying trick. This tactic involves her providing you with excessive, almost obsessive amounts of detail about where she's been, who she's been with, and what she's been doing, details that feel forced and unnecessarily elaborate. It might seem like she's being open and transparent, but in reality, it's all designed to distract you from the truth. Instead of simply answering your questions about where she's been, she starts offering an overwhelming amount of information. She'll tell you not only who she met, but also what time they arrived, where they went, what they ate, and every other insignificant detail. The details may even be so specific that it feels like she's trying to cover up something, almost as if she's rehearsed this information to make it seem convincing. For example, she might say something like, "I was with Sarah at the cafe downtown from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. We had coffee and talked about her new job. Then we walked around the park for a bit, and I came straight home after that." The amount of detail might seem innocent at first, but it's far too much to be a casual conversation about a simple meetup. Why does she feel the need to share every single minute? Why does she have such a precise narrative? This over-explanation is designed to deflect your suspicions and make you feel like you're overthinking things. She's trying to convince you that she's telling you everything, hoping that the flood of details will make you believe her story. But in reality, this tactic is used to create a sense of false reassurance, to make you feel like there's nothing to worry about. It's not about honesty, it's about control. She's manipulating you into thinking she's being open, when in fact, she's hiding the bigger truth. But this isn't the only manipulation at play. The next psychological trick she uses is even more subtle and devious, designed to keep you trapped in a web of doubt and insecurity. Keep watching. This next trick will open your eyes to her tactics. Trick 6. The gaslighting trick. She makes you doubt your reality. One of the most dangerous psychological tricks women use to hide affairs is gaslighting. This tactic involves manipulating you into questioning your own perception of reality. Instead of acknowledging the truth or confronting the situation, she makes you feel like you're crazy for suspecting anything in the first place. It's designed to undermine your confidence and make you second-guess your instincts, allowing her to continue the affair without facing consequences. You may notice that when you bring up your suspicions or confront her about her behavior, she doesn't address the actual issue. Instead, she responds by questioning your memory or making you feel like you're imagining things. Phrases like, "You're just paranoid," "That never happened," or "You're overreacting," are common signs of gaslighting. She'll deny things you know are true, and in the process, she causes you to doubt what you saw, heard, or felt. For example, if you ask about a late-night call she received, she might respond by saying, "That's ridiculous. I was just talking to my friend about work." If you continue questioning her, she'll ramp up the manipulation, saying things like, "You always think the worst of me," or "I'm sick of you accusing me of things I haven't done." Over time, this continuous denial erodes your sense of reality, making you feel insecure and unsure of yourself. What makes gaslighting so effective is its ability to make you feel like you're the one at fault. She deflects the truth by focusing on your behavior, making you feel guilty for expressing concern. This allows her to shift the focus away from her affair and keep you distracted from what's really happening. Gaslighting is a powerful manipulation because it leaves you questioning everything, from your thoughts to your judgment. It makes you feel like the problem is your perception, not her actions. But this isn't the only manipulation she's using to keep you in the dark. The next trick she employs is even more devious and designed to make you feel trapped in a constant state of confusion. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what comes next. Trick 7. The emotional validation from others trick. She seeks validation. Outside the marriage, One of the most subtle yet effective psychological tricks your wife might use to hide an affair is seeking emotional validation from others. Instead of confiding in you or sharing her emotions with you, she begins turning to friends, co-workers, or even strangers for the emotional support and attention she once gave to the relationship. This shift is not just about needing someone to talk to, it's about finding someone to fill the emotional void she's created by disconnecting from you. She might tell you she's just catching up with a friend or having a girls' night, but these outings and conversations are often more than innocent gatherings. She's looking for affirmation and understanding from others, and those emotional connections are filling the space that should belong to you. She might even start telling you less about her day, claiming she's too tired to talk about it, yet she's more than happy to share the details with her friends or co-workers. It's a tactic to distance herself emotionally from you while seeking the validation she feels she's missing. What's more alarming is that this validation-seeking behavior often leads to her becoming emotionally attached to someone else. If she's already sharing her personal struggles and frustrations with a third party, that relationship can easily evolve into something more intimate, both emotionally and physically. These outside emotional connections create a buffer, making it easier for her to maintain her affair without you realizing what's going on. You might notice that she becomes increasingly defensive when you question her emotional connections outside the marriage, telling you that you're too controlling or don't understand how important her friends are. This is a classic deflection technique designed to make you feel guilty for being concerned. She's redirecting the issue onto you, making it seem like your reaction is the problem, not her behavior. See you in the next video.